Welcome to Varsity Field at Butler University. My name is Michaela Ward, and I'm here with Kristen Kovac. This is the last home game for the Indy Red against the Portland Rising. Should be a pretty good game on this overcast Sunday morning. KK, how are we feeling?
I think there's a lot of excitement. You know, last home game of the season. We have a really strong roster for both teams today. I think that it's going to be a very interesting, challenging game, especially since Rising is coming off of a game yesterday.
Yeah. They played the Milwaukee Monarchs back in Milwaukee and traveled down to Indianapolis last night. So should be a good game. They're a strong team. They have a strong region, so looking forward to it.
And I just want to say welcome, Michaela.
Thank you.
To the mic. And I'm happy to have you here. It's going to be really fun today.
I have been practicing my NPR voice for the last 5 days since I found out I was doing this. Thank you.
You're welcome. So you've been in more of a leadership role with Red this year. Tell us a little bit about that. What have you been up to?
So I am the board president for Indy Red. I do a lot of nodding and saying, yeah, that sounds good, because everybody else on the board has been doing it significantly longer than I have, and have all the great ideas. So, I show up, I help out. They give me tasks and I do them. And, when you have Jackie and Jamie on a board, they usually just, when you ask, like, hey, can I help with anything? Like, no, I got it.
Yeah.
So they're, like, super, super great to have, working with them. And I don't know how Jackie does it. I don't know how Jamie does it. Jackie also coaching Jamie, having 3 kids and a career.
And practice playing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for all your hard work. I mean, there's so much that happens behind the scenes to make all of this happen. So thank you to everybody who puts in the time and the effort to volunteer and make all of this happen.
Yeah, it's a great group of people to work with. Doesn't feel like a job. It feels like just hanging out with friends. So I'll take that all day long.
Nice. So what are your thoughts about today's game? Do you have any thoughts about how Red's going to come out? What's your take?
I think we're going to have some zone looks on defense from the Red. I know Portland likes to do a lot of give and goes. They usually run a vert stack, so throwing a little bit of zone on that might not be a bad idea. I am not privy to the plan, so this is all guessing.
Yeah.
We have a pretty deep roster today with Red. Our last game against the Monarchs was a little scarce. We had to pull somebody up from the practice squad. It was Jamie, and she crushed
had a great game, yeah.
Crushed it. In fact, my oldest nephew went up to her after the game and said, "You are my favorite player," and his aunt plays on the team. So
that's amazing. No.
Yeah, it was a point of contention, but I enjoyed it. I think Red's going to come out hot. It's their last home game. We have a player, Maya Hernandez. This is her last home game as an Indy Red player. She's given so much to the program. She's been here since 2020. So it's going to be fun to watch her work her tail off one last time. There she is. There she is right there.
Yeah. I bet Maya is really, look at that, just furrowed brow.
That's just raw grit right there.
She is ready to grind today. I know that Portland has several different defensive looks, and their offense is their vertical stack is their mainstay. We know that they're going to be running vertical stack probably all day. And then their defense, which is a really gritty type of defense, they're going to be grinding it out. They don't expect the other team to make mistakes. They're going to go out and try and make plays. We can expect to see Liv player going out, making some chest-high layout Ds, or layout D attempts, and we'll see who Liv is going to match up against, and whoever it is, probably going to be a really fun matchup.
Yeah, this is a good team, and they had a little bit of a slower start to their season, but they've really kicked it in the gear the last couple games.
Looks like we're on the line.
Yeah, we've got a Maya, we've got a Mac.
Indy Red on offense to start. And Liv player with the disc, ready to pull. We do have some caveats here. We're on the local Wi-Fi, so trust that if anything goes down, we'll do our best to get back as quick as possible. But here goes the first pull.
Nice pull. Indy to receive. Max catches the disc to Duds. Looking for some options downfield. Swings to Tilo. On that sideline, got some good defense from Portland. Way to get it off the sideline, Tilo. Duds downfield to Maya Hernandez. Good movement. Looking for another reset. Tilo with the disc. Mac on the sideline again.
Portland with just a strong person defense to start the game.
Nice little give. We got a deep look. Send it to Duds for the first score.
So some pretty steady offense from Red. And, Portland came out with not as much energy as I've seen them use in the past. So I think energy might be something that they're going to be working up against, considering that they played a game yesterday and they've also traveled to both games. Energy is going to be a big factor in this game.
Absolutely. And the Midwest isn't as close as the Northeast. So, a drive from Milwaukee to Indianapolis is, 6 hours, 7 hours? Or did they fly? I don't know.
I believe they drive. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Nice. So we've got Indy Red on defense now. Looking at Kelly Kirker, Emily Wyckoff. We've got Kitten. I'm working with a small screen here. Riso Meno. She's going to have
Lily Hobday, Kat
Burris.
McGuire, Bree Burris, and Riso Meno. And we had coaches Blake Vanderbush and Sam Pukas on the line, instructing their D-line. For Portland, on offense, we are going to see they want to work the break side all day long. They have two lefty handlers that have the big lefty around swings. So let's see how Indy Red can adjust to that.
Caught the pull. I'm banking on at least 6 layout Ds from Riso Meno this game. Sending it deep. We got 2v1. Good defense by the Red. No call. So now Red moving to offense. Riso Meno picks up the disc. Swings it. Kelly Kirker with the disc. Looking up.
Miscommunication. And Portland is ready to pick up and go.
Yeah, good quick transition on offense.
Quick transition is one of those things that I think is starting to become more of a thing. I do think that there's, in the past, more of a steady, slow rhythm to get going has been more acceptable. And now I think because teams are more well-rounded and the full roster can throw, anyone can pick it up and go.
Yeah, and there's that, verbal communication and nonverbal communication. If you've been playing with a team or teammates for a long period of time, that nonverbal communication is, ingrained second nature, so you just know where they're going to be. All tied up here, first quarter, about 10 minutes left. We've got Indy Red on offense. Weather today is a little overcast on this Sunday morning. Rained all day yesterday, but should be rain-free today. Pull goes up. Chuck to pick up the disc. Immediately swings to Duds. Duds looking downfield.
Looks like Portland has a poachy.
Little poachy there. Sneaky.
Yeah, so the defense is poaching off of the handlers to get into the lanes to stop any in-cuts. And looks like they fired out of that, so now strong person again.
Good. I'm naturally a very loud person, so me having to whisper in this mic is actually very challenging for me.
Oh, you can yell. Yeah, you can yell. We're here to support you in your energy levels.
I will probably do that, and it will be not under my own control. So I appreciate the support.
We got your back.
Mac with the disc there. A little poachy again, but taking away that strike lane. Portland defense sends it.
Looks like that was a high
End
stall
zone.
choice. with
Score.
Abby. I mean, if you're going to do a high stall bailout huck, it's kind of nice to have Abby in the end zone.
I agree. What is she, 7'2"?
Yes, it looks like there's a call on the field. Stall called.
With a contest.
Stall contested, which I believe stall will come back in
8.
on 8.
This in.
Another
Sends
bailout.
it again. Maya Hernandez. Oh, Skittles. Picking up trash. All right.
And it's not lost on me that you share the same last name as Skittles.
I do. Let me just say she married up.
Can you tell us about how you decided what last name to choose?
So both of I'm married to number 40, Claire Skittles Milton. And we could not decide our last names because both of our last names sounded horrible with the other one's first names. Michaela Milton, the alliteration, and Claire Ward. Just sounds like you were, stop short of your sentence. So we ended up playing a wiffle ball game for last name, and my team lost. So I am Michaela Milton and prefer to be called
Oh my gosh, that's so fun. I love that. How did you pick teams?
I'm just going to say Claire cheated. That's not actually what happened, but it's the leg I'm going to stand on, and I'm going to die on that horse.
Yeah, I think that's fair, especially since you lost.
I also think the saying is die on that hill, and I said horse. So this is why I'm not usually given a microphone.
Mm-hmm. That's okay. We're playing to our strengths and weaknesses here.
To the Miltons listening, I love you all.
Kat McGuire with the pull.
We got Mary Rex Specs Timmons out there.
We do know that Portland likes to work the break side. We have a couple handlers that are lefties. I want to give a caveat, though, that we're working in some minimal visualization. Big huck to the end zone, to the back of the end zone, to 23.
Very fast offensive movement by Portland. They want to do a lot of throw and goes, get the disc moving quickly, get the defense kind of sitting on their heels. Very, very fast offense. Let's see what Red can do with it here.
Lily Hopday picking up the disc, strutting to the line. And again, we have the handler poach from Portland.
Nice upline luck. Sammy with the disc, moving upline to Rex Specs Timmons. Moving it up that four side line. Would love to get it off the line.
Jalen to Cat.
Riso Mena with the disc. A lot of four side movement, looking to swing the disc. Riso Mena. Good, back to Risa. Setting up an end zone here.
Red looks a little squished on the sideline. Let's see if, and I believe a timeout is called by Coach Blake Vanderbush. And we're off to a commercial.
Are you enjoying this live stream of the Indianapolis Red? Want to find out how else you can support them? Go ahead and scan that QR code and give with your wallets and not just your time. The Indy Red appreciate and enjoy every single opportunity that they can to play Frisbee and appreciate your support even more. None of this is possible without you.
This live broadcast of the Premier Ultimate League is brought to you by Breakmark Ultimate Apparel. Go to breakmark.com to place your next custom team order or check out the PUL Athlete Collab shops.
Indianapolis Red is sponsored by City Yoga School of Yoga and Health. City Yoga is a locally owned and operated yoga studio downtown Indianapolis. Their programs and services enhance health, uplift hearts, deepen connection, and foster positive change. Book a class with them today at cityyoga.biz or on the MindBody app.
the Indianapolis Red would like to say thank you to one of their local sponsors, MDMI. MDMI specializes in the design and implementation of tailored data management solutions to unlock the power of data. MDMI's experts work closely with customers to determine how best to...
And we're back. Tilo with the disc.
Looks like we did a wholesale substitution for the offensive line. Looked like a little throw to the end zone. Shani over the top for the score.
That was fantastic positioning by Portland.
Yeah, that was a
Shani
nice
with
break.
a fantastic read, though.
Did you know tree frogs can jump higher than the Empire State Building?
Right? What? No.
Because Empire State Building can't jump.
Okay.
And Shani is also in the line of can jump higher than the Empire State Building.
Okay. I like
Did you
it.
see her jump?
I did.
It was unreal.
It was unreal.
Yeah, skyscraping.
Yeah.
Huge thanks to our sponsors. A huge part of the success of the PUL is dependent on having those sponsorships. So for the PUL wide, Indy Red wide, thanks again for all your efforts in supporting this wonderful organization. We've got Indy Red on defense.
Talk to the coaches. Talk to Coach Jake Arwee before the game, and Jake mentioned that they play with three solid lines, but I know he mentioned one line is kind of fully with the line that they plan to have all season, and then the other two lines they're kind of pulling from the other couple of lines. So basically, we're going to see some repeat players on Portland, which is common for travel team.
Good use of the field space. Couple of full field swings from the handlers. On the four-side sideline now. Nice lefty backhand. Looking for a dump. Middle of the field. Break. Great break throw from Portland.
Chloe Rousey looking for 37. Hannah Henklin.
Sending it. Nice bid. Unsuccessful, though.
Hits the pylon.
Nice bid by Fitz. She was a middle linebacker in her previous life. That pylon didn't have a chance.
Lauren Kitten picking up. 45 looking to stop the arounds, it seems.
And it was successful. Reese Meno takes the strike cut. Moves it upfield along the four-side sideline to Kelly Kirker. Full swing. Nice. Looking a little oh, no.
Red working steady in their vertical stack right now. Working it up the four-side sideline.
Sending it deep.
To Lily Hobday.
Wow, with a nice spike. Great send. Had some nice air under it. She was
Is that
able to
another
get into the
break?
disc.
Do you remember?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have 2 breaks in a row from Indy Red. That has got to be an energy booster.
Wow. Great put, great read, great spike.
How is Portland going to dig deep and match the energy?
Yeah, it's hard coming off of 2 away games back to back. They had a good game against the Monarchs last night. They have a shortened roster, probably just because of various injuries, travel time, back-to-back games. So they're going to have to dig deep here and get their offense rolling.
It's important to remember that this is a game of swings of momentum. Although Indy is up 3, we best can expect Portland to put on the gas and come out hot.
Absolutely. This game is nowhere near over. Just a reminder, at the end of every quarter except for the fourth quarter, you will maintain possession even if the clock hits 0. As soon as that possession is over with either a score or a turnover, that is when the quarter actually ends. Got a nice deep look, fake to break, with space to run onto. Very nice look. This is that Portland offense we were just talking about. Here they come. There it is.
So that play got started with a lefty flick to the break side, which opened up the field, and a huck went up to someone streaking deep. Number 23, Colette Pellegrini, Coco.
Yeah, with the bookends. I mean, not the
Streaking
bookends,
deep.
Streaking
and,
deep. Yeah.
I mean, it feels like bookends.
Feels like bookends. There's that Portland offense we were just talking about. Very efficient, very quick, good transitions, utilizing space well.
So if you're watching the live stream, go ahead and put something in the chat. We'll shout you out. We have the chat open.
Let's see how Red offense answers on this one.
Big pull from Liv.
She's a player.
Yeah.
You know?
She probably hears that a lot.
She probably hears that a lot.
Yeah.
Jokes are funnier when you repeat them. I've always said that.
Kristen Dudley looking to reset the disc, known as Duds.
Tilo downfield, sends it with some air underneath it.
2v1.
Oh.
And the defensive pressure from Sophie Knowles and 32, Megan Wilson, kind of got into Abby's line of sight.
Little breakthrough to the break space. Got some air under it. Good read by the downfield offense.
33, Yuka Xiao.
Another lefty. Here's that give and go offense with a little switch. Nice job. Nice. Good turn.
Great pressure from Red to, sometimes they call that an intimidate.
Some would, including myself. That was a great switch play. That's probably generated the turn. That's just good communication on field. Tilo with the disc, surveying down the field. Looking for some options.
And that is a layout D from Liv player, something that we knew we could expect from today's game.
It's a long O point for Indy Red.
Great layout D.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you. I just finished my water bottle.
Oh, pressure defense from Schloniger.
Let's see if Red can punch it in here. Duds picking up the disc. Got an end zone play. Maya Hernandez getting nasty.
Sophie
Score.
Knowles trying to read the D. Maya
Air
Hernandez.
guitar with the kick spike. You gotta love it. You know?
Yeah, I mean, that's for the crowd.
I'd be completely fine if Maya scored all the points today.
Yeah, me too.
You know?
I know some people, we see the replay, Duds to Maya.
Will not be denied.
Maya isolated in the end zone is it's a hard one to guard.
Yeah.
On the sidelines, you might see some shirts that were created in celebration of Maya's retirement from professional ultimate.
It's a sad day for Indy.
So if you see some Maya faces on a shirt, just know that, we're here for the heckles.
All right, I'm feeling a Risa Meno layout D. That's what I'm feeling in my heart, soul, and everywhere in between. Nice big pull from the red. Coming down, centers the disc. Surveying down the field, got a nice IO flick.
A lefty flick to open up the field once again.
Portland with good patience, a lot of trust throws. You can tell they've played together a while, and they're figuring stuff out through this whole season. 1 minute remaining in the quarter. There's a call. Good mark by Risa. Looks like out of bounds.
Out of bounds. It looked like that flick came off a little floaty. I wonder if the disc is a little damp. There might be a little bit of wind. It looks pretty not windy, but sometimes when you're trying to transition from backhand to flick, like if you're faking backhand to flick, the grip on the disc.
Ooh, there's Risa.
You called that Risa layout. It was on offense, not on defense.
You know, psychics are right 50% of the time. Let's see if we can get this. All right, so time has expired, but if red can maintain possession and score, it counts, or if there's a turnover, the quarter is over. Great catch, great read.
Portland trying to junk things up with some poachy defense off the handlers once again, and Indy Red still trying to work it up the force side, which didn't go as planned. And we have a question from the chat. Wes wants to know, preference, meatball subs or Philly cheesesteak?
And we will answer that question after this break, because I have to think about it.
The Discraft Ultrastar is the official disc of the Premier Ultimate League. Discraft, the world leader in disc sports. Indianapolis Red are sponsored by Everyone's Joy Photography, the UIndy sports team photographer and Indy Red's official photography company. Doesn't matter what you need, we got you covered at any event. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, or online at everyone'sjoyphotography.com.
This live broadcast of the Premier Ultimate League is brought to you by Breakmark Ultimate Apparel. Go to breakmark.com to place your next custom team order or check out the PUL Athlete Collab shops.
The Indianapolis Red would like to say thank you to one of their local sponsors, MDMI. MDMI specializes in the design and implementation of tailored data management solutions to unlock the power of data. MDMI's experts work closely with customers to determine how best to capture, activate, and leverage their data to solve complex problems and drive productivity, innovation, and risk management. Visit mdmi.com to learn more.
Indianapolis Red is sponsored by Cox Roofing. As a family-owned company, Cox Roofing knows that it can be difficult to entrust your home or business in someone else's hands. This is why we have cultivated an expert team to help with any roofing, guttering, or siding needs. We're here for you from free first inspection to final walkthrough. Call Cox Roofing to schedule today.
Indianapolis Red are sponsored by Everyone's Joy Photography, the UIndy sports team photographer and Indy Red's official photography company. Doesn't matter what you need, we got you covered at any event. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, or online at everyone'sjoyphotography.com.
Indianapolis Red would like to thank Fountain Law Firm for this year's 2024 sponsorship. Thank you.
And we are back at Varsity Field at Butler University to start off our quarter 2. Wes asked a great question of preference of a meatball sub versus a Philly cheesesteak, and I needed the break to think about it. And my answer is a two-parter. 1, if the meatballs are made with veal, pork, and beef, meatball sub all the way. If the Philly cheesesteak has more than one type of cheese, then I'm definitely interested. So, it's a tough question, and I appreciate the question. But I'd probably go meatball sub.
Okay. We have Rising starting off on offense.
Oh, yeah, we're watching again. I forgot.
And also, mine's an easy answer because I'm lactose intolerant. So, unfortunately, Philly cheesesteak isn't going to work out for me.
Well, meatball subs have a little parmesan.
I can get, but you can't get a Philly cheesesteak sub and ask for no cheese and still have it be.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I respect that. Keep the questions
so that's
coming.
that's to answer your question. And yeah, keep it coming in the chat. Abby says, go Indy Red. Which I believe is Jamie Smet's child who says that.
That is correct.
So
one of the 3.
Yes.
No, tell me. I'll repeat it. I'll repeat it verbatim on the mic. I'll repeat it verbatim.
Nice pull by Red.
Sophie. Nope. Portland's having a discussion of who's picking up the disc, and it looks like Sophie Knowles won out.
Landed out of bounds, so bringing it to the middle.
That's awkward. Oh my god.
Sending it deep. Good defensive coverage by Indy Red. Looks like a potential foul called.
And that was Sarah Jung with the deep look to 19, Olivia Hampton. Discussion happening on the field.
So this is a self-officiated sport, so they're going to have a short discussion. If they can't come to an agreement, they are going to go to the observers, who are in the electric green shirts. Everybody is converging.
If no one's yelled at us yet, let's just...
Looks like the disc might be going back. Foul contest called on the field. And the disc is going back to Jung. Tried to put the same look up, but really great defensive pressure from Lily Hobday, who
Tenacious.
might have gotten a little fingy on that. Yeah.
A little bite of a chili
Cheesesteak.
Cheesesteak. Philly cheesesteak.
Risa picking up, ready to go.
Little give and go action switch by the Portland defense. Moving it upfield to Kelly Kirker. Little dish to Emily Wyckoff. Another little dish to Risa Umeno. Nice full field movement. Using the entire width of the field to open up the downfield space. Good handle movement.
Indy Red happy to move it between handlers, easy resets.
Miscommunication there, just a bit outside.
It's a great look to try and open up the space, but too far out of Kat's hands. Sophie Knowles in the middle of the field for Portland.
Little poach there by Red. Handler defense. Nice job of sealing that break side. Fits with the disc for Portland. Good sideline D by Emily Wyckoff. Sealing that. Break side continue. Nice job. Good defense
51,
by the Red.
Tess Johnson working in the backfield.
Ooh, a little lefty high release.
Sophie looking deep to 2 open Rising players.
Great communication. Yeah, I bet Portland was talking about continuing to utilize their fast transitions, quick movement. make sure the Indy Red defense doesn't set.
Indy Red is sponsored by Westfield Pride. Westfield Pride is an organization that seeks to provide advocacy, support, and safe spaces to members of the LGBTQ plus community and allies. We hold an annual Pride Festival, which will take place on September 28th from 1 to 6 p.m. Westfield Pride is proud to sponsor Indianapolis Red and to promote their message of inclusivity.
Happy Pride, y'all.
Happy Pride.
All right, pull goes up. Tilo getting it off the line very quickly. That Pochi D is back.
Forces a hard inside throw to Skittles Milton, who couldn't quite scoop it up.
Handel's looking to move the disc pretty quickly. Again, Portland's signature move is that quick transition.
Number 8, Nikki Chan. To 32, Megan Wilson. Sophie Knowles, who makes the big jump into the end zone to avoid having to throw it another throw into the end zone.
That's a break for Portland. This is that offense we were talking about in the first quarter. Here they come.
Sophie looks to be having a pretty good game, working the handler space. They're also looking to Sophie deep. Sometimes when you're missing some key players, you'll see other players step up and filling in some roles.
And a very athletic throw. Great job.
Let's see if Indy can answer here.
Aaron says, West Michigan All-Stars, Mac, Maya, and Sammy making the big plays today. Kirsten says another Maya Selly. This was back when Maya was doing her guitar,
Yes.
strings, classic.
Do you think it's electric or acoustic?
Electric?
Yeah.
It's got to be electric. I don't know if you're acousticing like full circles with the arm. Maybe.
You're doing it wrong. if you're
Yeah.
not. Just over 9 minutes left in quarter 2. Nice pull by Portland.
Yes, that's 45. Zerjung.
They are not playing tired. They came out a little flat, but here they come. Their offense is looking really, really good. Let's see if Red can answer. Looking downfield to Shani.
Portland still answering with some person defense. I know they have a couple defensive looks, so I'm interested to see when they're going to pull that out.
Yeah, minimal wind here at Varsity Field. Shani,
Just out of reach for Shani.
a little too much sauce. We've got a good turnout for the crowd today for our last Indy Red home game.
Great defense from Makeda Matamore to force a floaty backhand. Great pressure from Tilo.
Maya Hernandez with the disc in the red zone, the red zone. Not a lot of options downfield. Swings to Mac. Little miscommunication there. Back on D for Indy Red.
And a timeout called from Portland Rising.
Timeout call from Portland Rising.
And thanks for being here. We're going to take a little break. Be back soon.
This broadcast is part of the Premier Ultimate League, a 501c6 nonprofit organization. This league has been community funded since day one, and we are so grateful for your support. Thank you to all of you. The Indianapolis Red would like to say thank you to one of their local sponsors, MDMI. MDMI specializes in the design and implementation of tailored data management solutions to unlock the power of data. MDMI's experts work closely with customers to determine how best to capture, activate, and leverage their data to solve complex problems and drive productivity, innovation, and risk management. Visit mdmi.com to learn more.
Indianapolis Red is sponsored by Cox Roofing. As a family-owned company, Cox Roofing knows that it can be difficult to entrust your home or business in someone else's hands. This is why we have cultivated an expert team to help with any roofing, guttering, or siding needs. We're here for you from free first inspection to final walkthrough. Call Cox Roofing to schedule today.
And we're back. Portland on offense, picking up the disc. Coming off of a Portland timeout. I wonder what they discussed. Swing to the middle.
71 and 17
Nice
in the
break
backfield for Portland right now.
side. Great use of the break side space. Again, both teams are using the width of the field very nicely.
Shirley Vole looking for a high stall. Open side throw. Indy Red forcing to nobody. Sammy, 91, and Kat McGuire trying to work together. Sammy clears out to leave some room for Kat to work.
A lot of four-side unders. Looking to swing. Swing to Riso Meno. To the break side for Mary Timmons. It's an Irish thing.
They were working it up the four side, and then were able to open it up with a break side throw for an open break side cut for a score. Really nice flow, easy offense.
Yeah, the defender bit a little bit on that strike cut, which opened up the break side very nicely. Created the assist for the break side score.
Run, Jackie, run. You look so fast.
This is a really, really fun game to watch.
Everybody look at Jackie.
D-line back on for Red. I'm still waiting on that layout D from Risa.
We have this obscenely tall line again. Maybe the whole team is just tall.
John and Andy say hi. Hello, John and Andy. Miss you, love you, see you at Sandblast.
Big pull from Red. Centering the disc, surveying down the field. Open four side. She's had some deep looks in the past. Able to shut that down this time. Good seal by Risa. Offensive movement is looking great. Lots of options.
Portland working their vertical stack. Handlers trying to hit open and easy resets. Let's see if Portland can get it off the line,
There's that layout.
or if they're just going to punch it into the open space.
Disc goes up.
It looked like there were two Indy Red defenders that peeled off their person to try and stop the four-side throw, which left the break side wide open. And if you have those talented throwers who can throw the inside flicks underneath the left arm, To the break side, you're going to have some open players since Indy Red is all kind of clustered on the open side. And that's where we call orbiting. You know, when you prepare for the disc to go to the other side, the defense has to orbit around their person in order to make a viable defensive play on the break side, which seemed a little lacking during that, unfortunately. So Portland's chipping away at the score, and they are now on defense. I would imagine that they feel like this is a pretty the next few defensive points are going to be pretty critical and important to try and get some momentum and energy going as the sun pokes out through a little window in the clouds.
Portland pull. Let's see what Indy offense can do.
On, it looks like the stream might be.
Getting a little jumbled by Red. Skittles calling for the cut she wants. Nice reach.
Abby Swenson to a wide open Schloniger.
Maya Hernandez looking for an end zone option. Dumps it back to Duds. Duds full swing to Chuck. To Skittles for the score.
We're seeing a lot of similar action, I think, in the end zone plays as soon as they're about 5 to 10 yards, both from Red and Rising, where they're, instead of trying to punch it into the open side, are really trying to look to the break side to look for that break side score.
Which is pretty or ultimate to watch.
It is. It's smarter as well.
Yeah, great look. Great break side look to Claire Skittles Milton for the score. Did you know Skittles is her actual middle name?
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who decided that?
I did.
Okay. Glad to know it's you and,
Yeah.
you know.
No, it's actually Marie, if people were wondering.
Okay.
I know everybody's middle names on this team, so if you want to know, just
You
put it in the
said
comments.
your mother-in-law was shouting you out in the comments?
She was, yeah. Kathy M. There we go. Unless
Thanks
it's
for
a-
the support, Kathy.
Yes. Sun has stayed out, but still no wind, so hopefully.
Doran says, good point, Rising.
Good break side look for Rising. Moving it up the field.
36, Jay Cruz, ready to work.
Just a lot of trust throws. They just know where their teammates are going to be.
17 looking for that break side throw, but has to reset.
Portland offense is doing a really nice job of creating a lot of options for the person with the disc.
Pressure from Lily Hobday.
Utilizing the force side. Punching it in. Not in. Good defense by Mary.
There's a call on the field.
Not seeing hand signals. There is a discussion happening. So again, with any foul or violation call, it's a discussion between the two teammates, and it looks like they settled it out. Swing from Portland to the center. Again, a lot of handle movement, especially in their end zone. Trying to create a lot of break side options.
71 happy to hit some easy resets. Cat trying to peel off to stop that upfield throw, but unfortunately open a window, but they dropped it.
I think it was a worm burner.
Oh.
Indy Red back on offense. Good opportunity.
In the back of their end zone, but it looks like there might have been a timely time out from Indy Red before the turn.
Well done.
I say this almost every game. That is big brain IQ activity from Coach Blake Vanderbush.
Yeah. We will take our last break of the quarter. We'll be right back.
Are you enjoying this live stream of the Indianapolis Red? Want to find out how else you can support them? Go ahead and scan that QR code and give with your wallets and not just your time. The Indy Red appreciate and enjoy every single opportunity that they can to play Frisbee and appreciate your support even more. None of this is possible without you.
Indianapolis Red is sponsored by City Yoga School of Yoga and Health. City Yoga is a locally owned and operated yoga studio downtown Indianapolis. Their programs and services enhance health, uplift hearts, deepen connection, and foster positive change. Book a class with them today at cityyoga.biz or on the MindBody app.
"30 minutes over a cup of coffee. Queen to H5 at the park. Thumbs up emojis, clapping emojis, confetti emojis. Loaded nachos at halftime. A spin dash for the win. Best 2 out of 3. And the time it takes to enjoy a slice or two, you can make a difference. Because yeah, mentorship sounds huge, but the truth is, it takes little to be big."
And we're back. Looks like it was a wholesale substitution for the O-line for Indy Red. Mac with the disc. 2 Skittles. Again, calling for the cut she wants.
I'm noticing a pickup in energy from Rising. Knowing how important a 6-7 score versus a 5-8 score coming into half would be critical for Portland. Big morale boost. Let's see if they can punch it in here. Almost 2 minutes left. There was a pit call downfield. Which you can tell by the goalpost fists being thrown into the air and just tapped back in.
Good seal on that break side. Nice defense. Portland heavily relying on their handles to keep the disc moving. Great break side look.
32 with a really beautiful, kind of a high release flick to the break side, and Rising is happy to keep it over on the high side of the field.
Probably looking to get it off the sideline here.
Rachel with great defense to stop that inside cut, but a beautiful throw to the break side once again.
Looks very similar to their last point.
It was Megan Wilson. So 37, trying to get it to live, but Rachel, look at that clamp down defense on the open side. And then Sophie Knowles with the assist to 32, Megan Wilson for the score. With a minute, 27 seconds left to play, 6-7, we have an exciting game.
Yeah, Portland's been chipping away at that score ever since the end of the first quarter, and they've done a really nice job of coming back, reorganizing their offense. This is going to be a good game.
Sarah Jung with the disc to pull. I'm curious.
Tell me.
Are we going to see person on this defense, or are they going to throw something else to, you know, is this the time where you throw in a wrinkle?
There's a cream for that. So sorry. This is why I'm not allowed to have a microphone. That's a great question. You know, if I'm Portland, you know, their person defense has been really, really solid. But, this is the time where offense is starting to get used to how to break that defense. Yeah, tossing a little zony look.
Sam says Moose, which actually shout out. I don't know if anyone knows this, but I am a Michigan State alumni. Go Moose.
It's coming back.
Just a bit outside.
That was a really interesting choice.
Did someone get a hand on that?
Yeah.
Sounded like it.
Again, this is possession ball for Portland Rising right now, so I wonder if they have any strategy to try to keep the disc in their hands and out of the end zone for the last 45 seconds. And there is a timeout called from Portland.
Timeout called for Portland.
Thanks for staying with us. This is going to be a great game. Got 40 seconds, a little bit more left in the quarter, left in the half.
Kirsten says go green, and go white, my friend. Go white.
I am from Ohio, so no comment.
No comment either.
This broadcast is about to go downhill.
This is a really incredibly important point for Portland to try and tie it up at half.
Yeah.
So they're talking probably some strategy to maintain the disc the next 40 seconds so that they can run out the clock before they score.
Yeah, because third quarter, Indy's coming out on offense. So coming into a tied third quarter is huge.
I'm really just here for my own entertainment.
We're going to allow offense to set up first.
We can expect Portland all movement from the front of the stack. It looks like Red is throwing in a triangular defense to stop any inside and any break side cuts. Portland able to break out of it quite easily.
Maya Hernandez on the mark, sitting a monster mark. Almost did.
Cat hunting for the D.
Portland calm, cool, collected. Trying to tie this half.
Happy to run out the clock, be patient.
Breakside look. Again. Out of bounds.
Wow, with 6 seconds to go. Now Indy Red gets another chance. Red gets the opportunity to play out this point.
Let's hopefully see some chilly offense. Work the disc up, you got nothing but time. Portland defense is looking very, very good, trying to take away that break look.
That was a high stall look for Kat McGuire. And heads up defense from Portland. That's the end of the half.
Yeah, very different story from end of first quarter to end of second quarter. We will be right back. Thank you for being with us.
Indianapolis Red is sponsored by City Yoga School of Yoga and Health. City Yoga is a locally owned and operated yoga studio downtown Indianapolis. Their programs and services enhance health, uplift hearts, deepen connection, and foster positive change. Book a class with them today at cityyoga.biz or on the MindBody app.
Are you enjoying this live stream of the Indianapolis Red? Want to find out how else you can support them? Go ahead and scan that QR code and give with your wallets and not just your time. The Indy Red appreciate and enjoy every single opportunity that they can to play Frisbee and appreciate your support even more. None of this is possible without you. the Indianapolis Red would like to say thank you to one of their local sponsors, MDMI. MDMI specializes in the design and implementation of tailored data management solutions to unlock the power of data. MDMI's experts work closely with customers to determine how best to capture, activate, and leverage their data to solve complex problems and drive productivity, innovation, and risk management. Visit mdmi.com to learn more.
Come on, break!
30 minutes over a cup of coffee. Queen to H5 at the park. Thumbs up emojis, clapping emojis, confetti emojis. Loaded nachos at halftime. A spin dash for the win. Best 2 out of 3. And the time it takes to enjoy a slice or two, you can make a difference. Because yeah, mentorship sounds huge, but the truth is, it takes little to be big.
At the ACLU of Indiana, we're Hoosiers, just like you. Hoosiers who believe in the power of action, who stand up, who speak up, who show up, who lift up the voices of others fighting for what's right, for all of us. Hoosiers who fight injustice in the courts, in the State House, and in our communities. No matter who you are, the ACLU is defending your rights.
Thank you again for sticking with us. Halftime is finishing up shortly. KK, what are your thoughts about this first half?
As I said earlier, it's a game of energy momentum swings. Indy Red came out hot to start, and Rising has been chipping away at the score. It's now 6-7, and I think we can probably expect some interesting looks from both teams in the second half. It seemed as though they were both kind of feeling each other out, putting in person defense to start the first half. I think we can probably expect a zone from Indy Red in the second half, and possibly the 4-person cup zone that Portland Rising has had in the past as well. We might be able to see that in the second half.
Yeah. Well, I know they were just playing The Devil Went Down to Georgia on the sideline, so if Indy Red is anything like me, I am amped.
That's the song that does it for you?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So
to each their own.
So hopefully this carries over into the start of the third quarter.
We got some shout-outs to the pylon.
Yes.
During the halftime stream. So thank you, everyone, for watching and tuning in. We really appreciate it, even if it is just rooting for the pylon. Here we go, second half. Rising starting with some really strong defense and player trying to make a play against Rachel. To Tilo in the middle of the field. Back to Duds, to Rachel. To Shani Rosenthal and Tilo in the end zone. It seems to me as though Rising might have really overcommitted kind of in the handler space and left the open side pretty open during that point.
Do you think that was miscommunication, or they're trying to do something different from before?
Yeah, I wonder if maybe there was a switch attempt call, or maybe someone was trying to poach and then lost their player. There are things that can kind of happen in that space, especially when Indy Red is doing give and goes. There can be someone who wants to switch and then the other person who's playing lockdown defense, so that type of communication can be costly.
So again, big shout out to our sponsors. We wouldn't be here without you, so thank you so much. And again, that pylon, keep doing what you're doing.
Jory says, "Hail Maya." Kat McGuire getting ready for a pull. Strong floaty pull from Kat.
Great hang time on that one. Portland offense off to the races. Pick called. Discussion happening. Disc in.
71 looking to get the disc back, but that lefty high release flick to the break side.
Sneaky, sneaky.
71 really patient, looking for the open side cuts.
Again, Portland's handle movement is just on point.
71 Shirley Vole.
Good seal.
Handlers happy to move it between themselves, give and go action. Portland is set up in a nice vertical stack. I know that they work from the top of their stack. Indy Red just still in person defense. Kat McGuire orbiting around the hands, trying to get a hand block.
Not a lot of options downfield. Open side for the score.
So that's a hold for Rising. They come out feeling confident. Strong offensive flow. I didn't see panic in any point during that.
Just chilly offense.
Yeah.
Yeah, they use their handle movement to create a lot of space downfield, so there's a lot of handle swings then to the break side, which opens up a lot of opportunities for Portland. Just great chilly offense.
JJ says, "Let's go, Red."
I would like to take this time to thank Indy Red for allowing me to do this broadcast. Normally I'm not allowed to be near microphones, but I do have a face for broadcasting. Red's offense on the field, including Maya Hernandez. This is her last home game for Indy Red.
Centered to Matamore. And a break immediately to Skittles.
Nice little bump. Good offensive flow by Red.
Maya looking for a reset. Great reset movement from Mac to Chuck. Chuck's pulling back to come into the handler space to create some space for Maya.
Great look by
to
Maya.
Schloniger. Little clogged there for a second. And an unfortunate turnover.
Let's see if the Red defense can get a little scrappy here.
We have Sophie starting at the top of the stack, making the first move. Abby gets a little lost there.
Stuck on that sideline. trying to break off handle movement, strike up the line to break.
Big around backhand to the end zone.
That was a fake to break.
To Liv player.
Very nice look by Portland.
Maya was on Liv, but Liv's got some height. At some point, it's just a matter of, I mean, offense always has the advantage.
Mm-hmm. That's just good positioning, too.
Great positioning. It was also a beautiful throw.
So we're all tied up at 8s with 8 minutes and 18 seconds. A lot of 8s.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Tie game. Really exciting.
Let's see if Red can answer here.
Indy has a big O-line out here right now.
Sarah Jung ready to pull.
A lot of hang time on that pull. Defense can get down there
C51
fast.
hustling down, trying to stop the first pull. Over pursues just slightly, but great pressure from Jung. Sarah able to reel that in.
Yeah, a lot of momentum from Portland defense.
Red happy to just dink and dunk with their open players. Couple yard gainers.
You can't dink your donks, though.
No.
Good communication.
Great read from Sarah. Mac looking to get it back. I feel an energy from Rising.
That might be by my blood pressure. Score for Red. Great answer.
Rising looked like they wanted to come out and make something happen, but Red responded. Really just hitting their open players. Lots of trust. This is something that, you know, we've talked in previous broadcasts where that type of move.
Trying to get it off the sideline.
Great defense from Rising. And there's a timeout called from Red. Timely timeout.
There is nothing more electric than a high five or a hand block. I've always said that.
We haven't seen a ton of defensive forced turns. We've seen, you know, mostly just teams making mistakes and that being the cause of turns. And that might have been one of the first, besides Liv players lay out D in the first half. That might have been the first forced turnover.
Yeah.
From a defensive line.
It took a lot out of me not to rage roar after that.
Yeah.
Again, I'm mic'd up and I respect all of our viewership.
Yeah.
So
And their ears.
Yes, you're welcome.
Yeah. You're welcome, and we're sorry.
My self-control today has been on point.
Yeah, I know. You're doing great.
Thank you.
We're all here to support each other. We have Indy Red's offensive line coming out.
Let's see what magic they can make happen.
It appears as though they are setting up in a horizontal, 3 handles back, 4 cutters deep, or midfield.
Offense is set, waiting on the defense. Just under 6 minutes left in the third quarter. Indy up by 1 on offense.
Punching it up the force side. Shani with a beautiful around swing. Mac looking break. Rachel with an easy under. Mai going deep. Can she get there? It's out of bounds.
Again, too much sauce. got Red back on defense.
I'm hating four friends.
It's out the back. It was super out the back. Okay.
Sorry for any issues with the streaming. We're doing our best, working with the Wi-Fi, but we're back nonetheless.
Good seal.
Big
Nice
layout from 19, Sophie Knowles, and a hand block from Rachel. Rachel Mast looking to get it going to Tilo.
Nice thread.
Tilo directing traffic, trying to work some give and go action.
Ooh. Nice, easy end zone.
And it looked like Tilo's mark was trying to stop the flick throw to the open side, which left the break open.
Great communication.
Look at this give and go action. Mac and Tilo doing work with the lefty to the middle of the field to Abby Swenson. Seems to be casual about that score.
NBD.
Yeah.
You know. All right, Indy back up 2. Just over 4 minutes left of the third quarter. Great chilly offense. Both teams are using the width and the length of the field nicely. We've seen some really nice deep looks, airing out the disc. We've seen a lot of full field swings, great handle movement. This is a fun game to watch.
Cat getting ready for the pull. Rising, ready for some steady offensive play like we've seen in the past. Big high pull.
Some hang time on that one. Looks like Red is coming down in person. Forcing sideline. Great big mark.
Jalen stopping the reset.
Great fakes by Portland.
That's 33. Yuka Xiao. Deep look. And I think that they were trying to stay in bounds, trying to toe the line and lost sight of the disc.
Riso Meno coming to pick up the disc to start the Red offense. Risa and I have very similar playing styles. I am super fast and lay out regularly.
Layout D regularly too?
Yes, this is why I'm on the broadcast and Risa is not.
Right.
Because I was lying.
Ooh, miscommunication from Sammy and Risa, trying to make an easy dump, but unfortunate miscommunication where Risa was trying to go up line, which gives Rising
an end zone opportunity.
Yes, great positioning on the end zone. They didn't have to do much to get here.
All right, big mark here.
71 lefty, trying to probably look for a break side look.
Reset.
To 17, Kelsey Devlin.
Going back to what works, that quick handle movement.
71, Shirley Vole trying to work the break side once again, keeping it on the high side. And like we've seen before, a score on the break side.
Yeah, that was tough for Indy Red, but you know, we're here for it. It makes for an interesting game.
That's a hold, but that defense in the end zone was forcing that turnover. Great work, Portland.
Travis says that juke by Yuga was bonkers fast. I know, we got some bonkers fast players out here, too. Athletes being athletes, these people put in a lot of work. You know, most of these people have full-time jobs and grind outside of practice, heavy lifting, lots of conditioning to get in professional ultimate shape, to be conditioned for this high level of play. A little clustered here in the middle of the field. See if Red can clean it up. Chuck with a beautiful high release backhand to Abby Swenson. And Mac just plants and loses her defender with so much space to work with.
Pick called downfield.
Rising is forcing backhand right now, I believe. Potentially middle of the field. We'll see if Red ends up swinging it. Forcing forehand now, so maybe there was just a miscommunication on the defense. That was great defense from number 6 to force a hard throw to the middle. 6, Chloe Rouse. And again, we see Portland cutting from the front of the stack, but the stack was really far away from the handlers, giving the handlers a pretty hard reset. Sophie Knowles with really great pressure on Abby, but Abby is looking deep.
Great
Visionary
placement.
throw to Schloniger over 2 defenders.
That was very impressive. Got a little body as she was coming under for the disc. Able to sit her feet, glance, and sends it. Great Chile offense. Fun to watch. That was a big offensive opportunity for Portland. Red came out victorious on that point. We are sitting at 9-11 with 44.7 seconds left in the third quarter.
Still trading holds. Really clean offense from both teams.
I am very thankful I didn't put any money on the Riso Meno away out Ds. We got plenty of time left.
We do have plenty of time left. At this point, I would really love to see some the defense on both teams amp up the energy and really put the pressure on.
I mean, maybe we can play Devil Went Down to Georgia again.
Yeah, I'm sure that's everyone's pump-up song.
Yep. Get amped. Portland in their vert stack.
Shirley Vole trying to make it work. Risa clamping down on Vole. Again, we have that break side look, which opens up the field. But Kelly able to get really big and stop the huck.
Yeah, if the red defense can stop that break side option for the Rising, that would be... All right, that counts.
Great pressure from Risa.
That for sure counts. It was a vertical layout.
Risa was going to pick up the disc and then opted to not, and it sounds like they're...
We call that conservation of greatness. You make a monster play, give yourself a little bit of a break, get the jitters out. Turnover by Red.
The clock was at zeros, so Indy Red had an opportunity to
punch
score. You know, I understand the desire to try and make it over to the break side for an easy look to the end zone. But you have all the time in the world to look for open side and resets. So that was an unfortunate turn.
We're taking a quick break. We'll see you back in a couple minutes. Welcome back. We are coming into the fourth quarter. Just finished the third. That's how numbers work. Portland Rising at 9, Indy Red at 11. This has been a really, really good game. Offensive flow has been, on both sides of the disc, has been very impressive, utilizing the break space. Defense, we've seen a couple looks. We've seen a couple junkie zones, person defense. So this fourth quarter should be pretty interesting.
Yeah, I'm interested if, there's an option to maybe play it safe, to stay with what's working at this point. Or are we going to see one team maybe take some risk, which I would imagine maybe it's about time for Rising to start taking some risks at this point, to throw some wrinkles into their defense, to try and get Red to think twice about what they're doing and kind of throw them off their rhythm. So I think we're going to see something different from Rising in this last quarter. And Red might be sitting pretty at this point. I would imagine they're feeling pretty comfortable, although the getting comfortable in offense is one of the worst things you can do for your energy. You want to find a way where you can stay amped up and keep your offense and defense high energy. I think it's going to be a game
High
of
but
energy.
humble.
Yeah. High voltage energy. It's going to be a game of energy for the last quarter.
But
Who wants it more?
But, looking at the first quarter moving into the second quarter, Portland Rising went from a 6-2 deficit to come back within 1. So we've seen it before. We might see it again. So I wouldn't count them out in this fourth quarter. This last quarter is just going to be pure grit, raw athleticism.
Portland Rising coming out on offense to start the fourth quarter, and Kat with a big, lofty pull almost to the other end zone.
That was impressive.
With Risa sprinting down, putting on great defensive pressure. That, I believe there was a call, but it was a play on.
Oh, there it is!
Layout D. Almost got there, but
Monster.
Portland ready to play through the contact.
I'm sorry for everyone's ears. Very efficient Very efficient Oh, it looks like there
might have been a call. There's a little bit of stoppage, but we see people running onto the field.
Portland player washing off Riso Meno's face after that bomb layout D. Great offense by Portland.
Here we have Chloe Rouse throwing up a little dishy backhand at 15. 15 looking for the flick, offhand break.
Yeah, great assist by Fitz.
That's hard to guard, the offhand break, when the defense's arm is usually down, the left hand is usually down low to stop the low flick insides, which makes the offense, if they have that offhand high release, makes that an easy throw.
Yeah. That's, again, that raw athleticism I was just talking about. Let's see how Red answers here.
Travis is mentioning Jake's fit, which I believe looks like a Hawaiian, which is our theme today.
Yeah, the Portland coach understood the assignment.
Yeah, so we love to see all teams and all people ready to play. Portland with some poachy defense off the handlers once again. Nothing we haven't seen before.
Mac doing work to get open. Full field swing. I love it. Good rip by Shani. Miscommunication.
Maya thought about going deep, but I think Maya was planting and to come under and wasn't able to gain the yards to chase down that disc. Sophie Knowles ready to pick it up.
Another opportunity for Portland to tie this up. Let's see how Red defense answers. Again, looking for handle movement. Good defense by Maya Hernandez.
With the block.
Unbelievable. She wants more. Little bump to Mac. Creating some great space with this offense. Abby Swenson gets up.
Portland with some really great defense on Red's end zone. Really tight, lots of contact happening, but still playing through.
Opening up the field a little bit.
Dud's trying to direct traffic. Red trying to look through their offensive looks to Rachel Mass.
Great chilly movement.
It looked like they were in trouble for a second.
I was nervous. I almost stood up.
You're allowed to stand.
I just had practice
Did
yesterday.
you? Okay,
so I'm
and
very
today.
sore, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to stand without a grunt.
Right.
And I didn't want that to be perceived incorrectly. Great score by Red.
Jerry wants to know, can we guess each team's cat to tat ratio?
We actually did talk about the number of cats on the team last night.
Yeah.
And it was
Which is a normal Rogue conversation.
Yeah.
Indy Rogue, shout out.
Correct. I bring up 5 of the 18 cats.
Cats?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't ask about tats because I generally don't care, but the cat question was definitely
really important.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I would bet that Red wins the cat ratio.
Yeah.
We have
sure.
a lot of cats.
Yeah. Again, we bring up 5.
Yeah. I don't
Encroaching
know.
on the,
Put it in the chat if you know anything about Rising's cat to tat ratio. Would love to hear it.
That last point. Defense generated by Maya Hernandez.
Mary almost running down to get that D, and we have a poachy defensive look from Indy Red trying to rattle Rising's offensive flow.
They're losing yards. They're allowing those little swings for a loss or being flush with the disc.
It is a zone look from Indy Red, which forces a big kitten almost there to get some fingers on that disc, which forces an around throw and doesn't quite make it to 17. And Risa's trying to pick it up and get it going.
And move fast, yeah. Risa to Sammy. We got to take those open looks. There we go. Good
Sammy
movement.
trying to give and go with Kitten.
Risa creating good space between her and her defender.
Mary wide open with an inside cut. And looking for trying to lead Risa, but unfortunately leads a little too far into the cutter space where 71 is able to peel off and get the D.
Looks like we are person D. Coming out of that kind of junky zone. Swinging it off the sideline. Portland handles are working. Sends it to the break side for a turn. Would love a give and go opportunity here. We've got Emily Wyckoff
going deep.
Going deep.
But Indy Red trying to keep it pretty chilly right here. To Mary Timmons.
Looking for a swing. Risa Meno in the backfield.
Mary trying to get off the sideline. And Kitten with the moon ball kick spike once again.
She is very good at that. The height she gets on the kick spike is just, again, raw athleticism. We're not even going to talk about the point.
Here's the replay we have for the Indy Red score from Mary to Kitten. You know, Mary was looking for that reset to Risa and got a little, shut down. Risa had a great defender, and I think Mary was trying to wait for Risa to maybe clear and make space for the top of the stack to fill.
Good body awareness by Kitten too. She knew she wasn't in, so, got a good jump to make sure to ensure that we got that point. Really, really nice job. 7.5 minutes left of the fourth quarter. This quarter, as time runs out, the game is over. We don't have that possession continuation. So when the clock hits 0, game is done.
John Jones, coach to Indy Red, putting in the chat from Pittsburgh, playing for the Alley Cats today. Shout out to John, who says, let's go.
Unreal hang time from McKenna Mattimore.
Rouse working to get it off the line, and 19 is wide open. Abby trying to catch up.
Sets a mark. Look and break. Turnover for the Red. This is a great opportunity. And look, Maya Hernandez is on the field.
This is like the 4th break side turnover we've seen from Portland. It kind of seems like they're trying to force themselves into the break side a little too hard. And Indy Red is doing a great job stopping those break sides.
I think we're seeing some fatigue here. Fourth quarter, especially Portland coming off a second game. Red had practice yesterday, so we're seeing a little bit of fatigue in this fourth quarter. Good defensive positioning by Red.
Stopping the first 2-3 resets.
Yeah. Defense's job is to dictate where offense goes, so they're doing a really nice job of allowing what they want to allow.
Jung directing traffic here, just throwing it where she wants it.
Looking for a handle swing, doesn't get it. Moves the disc downfield. There's that big break side look they were looking for. Up the line. I guess that was a 4-side look. There's the break side look.
Mac putting on some pressure.
Yes. Nice chilly offense.
Again, trying to force that break side look, and Red is ready for it. They're looking for those break side throws at this point.
Let's just work the clock.
Breaks.
Nice chilly
backhand
offense.
high release from McKenna Mattimore. Zinger to Maya, which unfortunately dinks out of her hands.
Good offensive flow by Portland.
Portland has the momentum here. Red is trying to catch up with an open side to Chloe Rouse. 19 with the assist. Olivia Hampton. Red is gassed. That was a long point.
Yeah, we've got some tired players out there on both sides for sure.
So I believe that was a break. No, because McKenna Mattimore pulled it. So that's a hold from Rising. So defense did their job. You know, they worked their hardest. They made it difficult, and they had their chances. They actually worked it all the way up to their own end zone.
You know what? I just hope everybody just has fun. You know?
Again, that's why you're up here and not down there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right.
Although I play with you on Rogue, and it's not about just having fun for you. In fact, I've seen your whole personality change.
Yes, I am a very loud,
competitive
player.
person. Yeah.
I compete with myself going down the stairs and win half the time. So, yes, I am just a little bit competitive. All right, we got a big O-line here for the Red. Nice, patient, chilly offense is kind of the order up. Tilo to Shani, looking for a dump back. Utilizing that break side space to Duds.
To Kelly Kirker, back to Mac.
Great movement by Red. Chilly offense using the whole field.
Rising able to stop the inside throw, which again left the break side open. Tilo on the end zone.
Do work. Yes. Score for Indy.
Smooth offense from Indy Red.
I don't know if you guys could hear this on the broadcast or not, but I did a heavy, heavy fist bump, and I think the wind my mic was able to pick up. So if you hear this whooshing sound, it's not me running, it was just my fist bump. Great Chile offense.
13-11. Rising is still within 2.
Rising trying to keep the energy high. The game is not over.
4 minutes left, plenty of time. Some defensive discussion from the two Red coaches, Blake and Sam. We might be seeing a zony look here potentially.
I think that zone look has forced a few turns from Rising, so that's something that Red is wanting to do. They see something that works. They're going to press the gas pedal all the way down until Rising chooses to adjust.
Yeah, defense dictates where offense goes. That's my motto.
Just make that up?
No, I coached for a very long time.
Oh, okay.
And that was a call and response.
Okay.
One of mine.
I like it.
Airs it out. Emily
Nice
Wyckoff
deep
in great
look.
position for the D.
Punches it into the ground with gusto.
With gusto. This is just clock management here. Nice, easy offense, flowy offense.
Just out of reach from Kitten.
Again, Portland with a big opportunity on the end zone line.
37 looking to slow it down slightly.
Up, disc. Doesn't look like there's a call.
That's a score for Rising.
Yeah.
It is now a 2-point game. And Risa tried to stop that backhand look from coming off. What's the force here?
Unsure.
Risa looked flat. Might have been
I'm not
maybe
sure.
a miscommunication on the force.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Red defense was set already. But hey, another opportunity for offense. We will be right back after these short messages.
And we're back.
Some very impressive pulls by both teams.
It's not much wind, so yeah, the teams kind of have free reign to air it out at their fullest potential.
Red looking a little jumbled in the downfield, but works its way to the far side. Nice offensive flow. Skittles on the break side. She really likes that backhand huck. She's a lefty, but chooses the flick. Opportunity for nice job. Great
You saw
communication.
Liv Player trying to put on the pressure for Rachel Mass with the double high fives to each other. Some shared respect.
Yeah.
Athlete sees athlete.
And I am also going to comment on Chuck's wonderful post-score high knees. Both arms in the air. There it is.
The freeze frame.
That's what you need.
Indianapolis Red is sponsored by Westfield Pride. Westfield Pride is an organization that seeks to provide advocacy, support, and safe spaces to members of the LGBTQ+ community and allies. We hold an annual Pride Festival, which will take place on September 28th from 1 to 6 p.m. Westfield Pride is proud to sponsor Indianapolis Red and to promote their message of inclusivity. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. You love to see it.
Mm-hmm.
And Pride is expanding beyond just June. September 28th. Come one, come all.
I think the Pride Parade in Indianapolis is this coming weekend.
Is it? That's great awareness.
Cam Brock says one more break and this game is on ice. Ooh,
Kelly Kirker is hungry for more.
Spicy talking in the chat.
Nice IO flick to the open side. Great awareness there. Nice D.
Rising, trying to force it downfield. Kitten in position to get the D.
Do I say it again? It is all about clock management here.
Right.
Every time I've said that, we've had a turnover, so hopefully, if it happens again, 3 times the charm. I'm not going to say it again.
Kelly Kirker wide open in the middle of the field.
Sends it to Mary Rexbex Timmons for the score.
And that is a big break.
Big break.
From Indy Red.
Big break, part of your complete breakfast.
Cheryl Mast in the chat says, nice patience and teamwork, Indy.
I had the pleasure of eating breakfast with Mary Timmons this morning, and she had 2 bowls of Raisin Bran with oat milk. So great source of protein, great source of carbs. So
Yes.
she's ready
to go.
Ready and rearing to go.
Oh, good.
It's evident by that last play.
Yeah.
I had quiche, if you were wondering.
Ooh.
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
What are you doing if you're rising right now? If you're a coach, what are you telling the team?
We need to capitalize on defensive turns. Every opportunity to get the disc, we need to get it, and we need to capitalize on scoring. So on this O point needs to be a fast O point, and the next D point, they need a quick turnover and generate some points on the board. But again, coming off a second game, back-to-back games at this level, it's tough. Plus travel. They've come out and really, really put the grind on.
It just shows there are more factors at play at any which given game than just the players playing Ultimate. You have to consider all of the factors. Kelly Kirker trying to get a block on the first throw. Still, Indy Red coming into a zone look because it seems to be working for them.
Ooh, great grab by Fitz. Number 15 on Portland. Kick-starting her offense. Red is delayed behind a little bit. This is easy walk-up. Score for Portland.
Yeah, Red was unable to stop and contain. And Rising was able to punch it up so that Red couldn't catch up.
Now, this is that quick offensive score we were just talking about. They're going to come out on D aggressive and hard.
They're doing what they have to do to get a quick offense, and now, what do you think?
Clock management is what I think. 35 seconds to go. Nice chilly offense sends this game to a 16-13.
Mm-hmm.
So if they can contain those deep looks, if they can just move the disc slowly up the field, this is a W for Indy. And it's hard because none of them are listening to my broadcast, so they can't hear my advice.
Yeah.
Until after the fact.
Right. Next year.
Next year. I'm always willing to give my opinion. Just ask me.
It seems to me as though we don't have to ask.
You don't. You really don't. No, not at all. You guys gave me the mic. Portland coming out on D. Nice airy pull. Looks like it's landing out of bounds. Good position for Red. Mack going to pick up the disc. She's going to be bringing it to the center of the field.
If I'm talking to Red's offense, I'm just saying, hold on to the disc. Hit your resets. No need to make any questionable throws.
Aggressive defense. Good box out by Skittles to Shani. Sounds like the sideline is calling out yellow, meaning patience, Iago, patience.
And that is what we see, some really great patience from Red. They're just happy to work it between open players.
And this is that clock management I was talking about. And score. Beautiful movement.
With 5 seconds left. What a game.
No kidding.
Like I said, this, it's a game of energy. And Red came out. They didn't deflate. They didn't get too comfortable.
No.
And instead just foot to the gas pedal and just kept grinding it out.
They felt the pressure in that second quarter and then answered every quarter after that. Maya Hernandez on. This will most likely be the last point she plays as an Indy Red player. She has been with the team since 2020 and has provided great support, offensive flow, scores, air guitars that are electric in more ways than one. She is going to be severely missed next season. Unless she's playing an April Fool's joke on us and just wanted the whole team to make her t-shirts.
Right.
Which is something I would do.
It's possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
John Jones says safe travels to the rising players. It was a great game. Michael says, way to go, Red.
And the Red sideline chanting, one more year, hopefully in reference to Maya Hernandez. Mary Timmons stops the roll. Ready, set on defense. Swings to the center. Another break side swing. Airing it out.
Deep. Let's see
Come on,
who
Maya.
can come down with it.
I'm going to give that D to Maya.
I was half expecting her to run and tap the disc just to stuff the stats. Wow, what a game.
What a game. Indy Red comes out on top 17-13. Last home game for Maya Hernandez. We wish her the best. Great, great game.
Thanks for joining me, Michaela.
Thanks for having me, KK.
Thanks to everyone who joined us on the stream, and we'll see you next year. Enjoy the rest of the PUL season. Go watch the WUL games that are happening today, and we'll catch you later.
Have a good one, everybody. Thanks again.
This live broadcast of the Premier Ultimate League is brought to you by Breakmark Ultimate Apparel. Go to breakmark.com to place your next custom team order or check out the PUL Athlete Collab shops. Indianapolis Red is sponsored by City Yoga School of Yoga and Health. City Yoga is a locally owned and operated yoga studio downtown Indianapolis. Their programs and services enhance health, uplift hearts, deepen connection, and foster positive change. Book a class with them today at cityyoga.biz or on the MindBody app.
The Indianapolis Red would like to say thank you to one of their local sponsors, MDMI. MDMI specializes in the design and implementation of tailored data management solutions to unlock the power of data. MDMI's experts work closely with customers to determine how best to capture, activate, and leverage their data to solve complex problems and drive productivity, innovation, and risk management. Visit mdmi.com to learn more.
Indianapolis Red is sponsored by Cox Roofing. As a family-owned company, Cox Roofing knows that it can be difficult to entrust your home or business in someone else's hands. This is why we have cultivated an expert team to help with any roofing, guttering, or siding needs. We're here for you from free first inspection to final walkthrough. Call Cox Roofing to schedule today.
Indianapolis Red are sponsored by Everyone's Joy Photography, the UIndy sports team photographer and Indy Red's official photography company. Doesn't matter what you need, we got you covered at any event. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, or online at everyone'sjoyphotography.com.
Indianapolis Red would like to thank Fountain Law Firm for this year's 2024 sponsorship. Thank you.
Are you enjoying this live stream of the Indianapolis Red? Want to find out how else you can support them? Go ahead and scan that QR code and give with your wallets and not just your time. The Indy Red appreciate and enjoy every single opportunity that they can to play Frisbee and appreciate your support even more. None of this is possible without you.